أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. Today inshallah we are going to start with فصل في أسماء الستة معتلة مضافة. Let's start with the Arabic text first. والستة ترفعها بالواو في قول كل عالم ورواوي والنسب فيها يا أخي بالألف وجرها بالياء فارف وتعرف وهي أخوك وأبو إمران وزو وفوك وحم عثمان ثم هنوك سادس الأسماء واحفظ مقالي حفظ ذي الذكاء. So this is about Asma al-Sitta. We know them as Asma al-Khamsa because here this word Hanukkah is new to most of us because this is an old uh, word you can say, or it is not commonly used in the Arabic language now. Most of the Arabs do not use it because Hanu means we talk about the things that we do not like to take their names, so we just say this is Hanu. So when and also it is used like there is another reason inshallah we are going to learn when we'll do the i'rab for these asma al-satta. So asma al-khamsa, most of us know about them. And inshallah, we are going to see them in detail now that what are they, how we are going to do the Iraq for them, inshallah. So let's start. So this is first fi Asma Sita al Mu'talla Mudafa. So here we read these Arabic text. So let's see them individually about Al-Bayt 52. وستة ترفعها بالواو. We know about Asma al-Khamsa that how we are going to write them with when they are like in the state of Rafa, they will be written as with the waw. We have done the Arab Asliya and Arab Fariya. We know that the Arab Asliya are that Dhamma with the Rafa state, the Fatha with the Nasab state, and this Kasra with the Jar state. And we know about Arab Fariya that how they are different from Dhamma, Fatha, and Kasra. And instead of these three in the default states, we use Waw, we use Alif, and we use Ya. So in this Arab Far'iyya, the first case is you can say it's Asma Satta. And in this, Imam Al Hariri is telling us that in Asma Satta, we are going to use Waw in the state of Rafa. So, and six of them are made Rafa with the letter Waw. وستة ترفعها بالواو بقول كل عالم وروابي, according to the saying of every scholar and the narrator. Ravi is the narrator. So these are the rules according to every scholar that in the Arab Fariya, as we have done this already in a separate section about Arab Asli and Fariya, please go back to the recordings and you can see all of them in the detail that how in Arab Fariya we use Waw with Rafa, Ya with nasab with the jar and alif with the nasb state. So this phrase is used to indicate that a statement or a ruling is supported by the consensus or the testimony of scholars and the narrators. Page 53 is والنسب فيها يا أخي بالألف. أخي is أخي, or you can say the أخن, it is the صغير form, the short form of these words. Ukhayya, this is the tasghir or sahir form. So ukhayya, ukhayya bil alif. والنسب فيها يا أخي بالألف, and it is nasab, or in it my, this is the example, my dear brother, with an alif. Here with the nasab we are going to use it with the alif. وجرها بالياء فارف وتعرف, and its jar is with ya. We know that with the jar state we are going to use ya instead of the kasra because it is according to the i'rab ya. So you know and acknowledge. The Imam Hariri is telling us here, then you should know that with the nasab we are going to use alif, with the ya, with the jar we are going to use ya, and you should know it and you should acknowledge it because it is according to every scholar and the narrator. وَهِيَ أَخُوكَ وَأَبُو إِمْرَانَ, and it is your brother and the father of the Imran. Here you can see that again it's telling us about how they are going to be used when they are in the state of an idafa. Here you can see it is in the default, the rafa state, Ahuka and Abu Imrana. Here you can see that it is in the state of rafa. Wazu, Wafuka, Wahamu, Usmana. And it is the zu, means the sahib, or you can say possessor of, Wafuka, your mouth, and Hamu, the father-in-law, Usman. These are just the examples to tell us about Asma as-Sitta. Summa Hanuka, this is the last one. Summa Hanuka Sadisul Asma. Then Hanuka is a sixth of the name, and as I already mentioned that this Hanu word is not used now. It was used in the classical Arabic for from most of the Arabs used to use it, but now it is not used because in most of the classical Arabic books you can see that you will notice that this Hanu word is not used with the Waw, Alif, and the Ya, and it is used with the Dhamma, Fatha, and Kasra from most of the scholars' point of view because they didn't use this Waw, Alif, and Ya. That is why it is not used in these Asma. And that is why we see now it is not Asma Satta, but instead of that, it is Asma al Khamsa. And I already told you that this word is also used as the things that we do not like. فَحْفَظْ مَقَالِي حِفْظَ ذِي الزَّكَاءِ. So memorize my words like the memorization of a person with intelligence. This is about Imam Hariri himself that he's saying, so memorize all that I have mentioned to you, and because these are the words from a person with the intellect. This line is encouraging the reader or the listener to remember the content being presented with the activeness and care of someone who is wise and intelligent, and it is about Imam Hariri himself. So, what are the, you can say, what are the shurut of these for these Asma Satta for doing their I'rab? So there are a few conditions. So let's see, inshallah, first what we learned before. Here we learned about Asmal Khamsa, that as a mudaf, they are always used with the alif and with the ya and with the waw. But when they are not mudaf, they are considered as heavy and we use them as abun, akhun, hamun, famun, and hanun if we are going to. And zul, it doesn't have any because it is always used with the mudaf, it doesn't have a non mudaf form. So zu will remain zu, za, and zi. So here, Rafa Nasab and Jar form of the Asmal Khamsa that we did when we were doing the Alamat, Era, Faraya. You can go back to the recordings and you can watch them. And specifically, we were doing the Halat Nasab. Here, Aba, Akha, you can see the Alif that is used, Aba, Akha, Hama, Fa, and Za. So these are the Rafa Nasab and Jar state when the Asma al-Khamsa or Sitta, you can say they are used as a mudaf, we are going to use the waw, alif, and the ya. And about the Hanu, and as I mentioned, then in the classical Arabic, you'll see most of the books are using the Dhamma, Fatha, and Kasra instead of the Waw, Alif, and Ya, and that is why sometimes it is not considered in these Asma, and we took them and we take them as Asma al Khamsa instead of Asma al Satta. And when they are not in the mudaf form, when they are heavy, because you know that when there is a mudaf, it is always light. That is why these asmal khamsa are quite unique in their construction because they carry a waw, alif, and the ya in the rafa, nasab, and jar respectively. So when they are in the heavy versions, non-mudaf, they are considered as like this. They will carry the double dhammas and fathas or kasras, abun, akhun, hamun, and famun, just like these. And there were some rules we learned about the Asmal Khamsa. Here you can see the I'rab for Mufrad, Musanna, and Jama, and Rafa, Nasab, and Jar for Zu, it is Zawa, and it is Zawu, and it is also as Ulu. Nasab is Za, Zawi, Zawi, Zawai, Zawi, and Uli. And Jar form is Z, Zawai, and Zawi, and Uli. We have already done them in Alamat, I'rab, Far'iyah. In the same way, it is the feminine form of the zoo. It is Zatu, Zata, Zati, Zawata, Zawati, Zawati, Zawatu, Ulatu, Zawati, Ulati, and we have seen these words in the Quran many times, Zawati and Ulati. So, Arab for when it is in the state of heavy or it is you can say non-mudaf. So it is like here when it is used as the mudaf. جاء أبو سعيد. أبو is file مرفوع بالواو لأنه من الأسماء الخمسة. We already learned about it. ودعنا أبا سعيد. أبا مفعول به منصوب بالألف لأنه من الأسماء الخمسة. رضينا عن أبي سعيد. أبي is اسم مجرور بالياء لأنه من الأسماء الخمسة. So you can see here when it in the state of the mudaf, when it is rafa, nasab, and jar, we are using waw, alif, and ya for these asmal khamsa. Let's get back to our lesson now. Ma shurut i'rabiha. So here there are four conditions, and we already know a few conditions. The first condition to use the waw is, or when it in the state of rafa, is antakuna mufreda. So ja abuka. Here you can see it is in the state of rafa. We are using this waw, but when it is only mufred, it is the singular. Ja abwani. You can see here the alif here. It is not, we are not using the wow. Ja, aba'a, aba'u here, the ma here. So you can see when it is not mufrad, it is, you can see it is the dual form, and this is the plural form. We are using alif and the ma. So when it is only used when in the state of the mudaf or it is in the singular form, we are going to use the wow. The next shart is أن تكون مضافة when it is in state of the إضافة جاء أبو بكر. So here you can see now it is the light version Abu. We are using the waw here. Abun is changed into Abu Bakr. So here you can see when the state of Idafa we are using the waw. Ja'a Abun we cannot use it when because we are not using because it is not in the state of Idafa. So only waw will be used when this asma al-khamsa are in the state of the idafa. أن تكون مضافة لغير يا متكلم. Also notice that when it is in the state of mudaf, in the state of idafa, but you will say that it is not using or not having a ya mutakallim. See here, ja Abu Bakr, ja Abuka. But when we are saying my father came, so ja abi. So here we can notice the dropping of the wow. We are not using the wow here, and wow is dropped here, and we are using ja abi because here we are using the ya mutakallim. An takuna mukabbira. So here again, as I mentioned, it is only used with this state when there is like we know uqayya and now ubayya means when they are in the sahir form, the short forms of any word, we are not going to use the wow. Ja'a Abu Bakr, this is the correct form. Ja'a Abuka, it is the correct form. But when it is in the Saghir form, it is non-mukabbira. So here we are not going to use the wow. That is the default for the i'rab far'iyya for the asma sata. That wow will be used when it is mufrad, when it is in the state of idafa, when it is in the state of idafa, but not with the ya mutakallim, and when we are using the you can say not the saghir forms of the words. Alhamdulillah. So here now we are done with this bab. Alhamdulillah, we have done till Al-Bayt 55, all about the small Sita, Al-Mu'talla Idafa. Here we learned about that I'rab Far'iyya. This is the first condition, or you can say the first group, Asma Sita, which is using the I'rab Far'iyya, not the real I'rab. We learned about the I'rab Asliya, that the I'rab Asliya are the Dhamma, Fatha, and the Kasra for Rafa, Nasab, and Jar, respectively. But here we learn that for the Rafa, it is Waw, for Nasab, it is the Alif, and for Jar, it is the Ya. So here we learn using the example of Asma Sata that Turfau bil Waw, Tunsab bil Alif, and Tujar bil Ya. These are the three Arab Fariya that we learned using Asma الستة. And these are the بيت وستة ترفعها بالواو في قول كل عالم وراوي والنسب فيها يا أخي بالألف وجرها بالياء فاعرف وتعرف وحيا أخوك أبو إمران وزو وفوك وهم عثمان. Here you can see that these are when they are used as the mudaf, we are using the waw in the state of rafa. ثم هنوك سادس الأسماء فافز مقالي حفظة زز زكاري. Alhamdulillah. So until the next page, I'll see you in the next lecture, inshallah. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.